impressive win, I guess, in the end by the Eagles. It took them a while to get going, but this Eagles team now emerging as one of the best in the NFC and one of the teams that may come out of the NFC and go to the Super Bowl and another Saquon Barkley night. And you heard some chants at the end of the game, "Thank you, Giants." And I know we have gone over this over and over and over again. I will not change my opinion on the Giants not signing Saquon Barkley to a long-term deal because of what's going on now. However, it does look bad. And we know that the owner does not like when the Giants look bad. And we know that the owner is on camera saying that he didn't want to lose Saquon. So will he be able to get through the rest of the season being embarrassed like this and hang on to the guys that are in charge of his organization right now? I hope that he does. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Jay. I'm doing well. I would just say, well, let's see what Saquon Barkley's total career looks like with the Eagles.
Exactly.
So we're in the middle of it right now, and Saquon has thrusted himself right into the mix for MVP of the NFL. I don't think he'll win it simply because Derrick Henry's having a tremendous year for the Ravens in the running back category. But Lamar Jackson is the runaway favorite. I mean, the numbers that Lamar is putting up both on the ground, in the air, the amount of touchdowns he's responsible for the Ravens, I would say he has got to be the odds-on favorite. You could probably check on FanDuel at one point this morning. We could look at that. But Saquon, no doubt, is having the time of his life right now. He's never played as well. I mean, there were times when he was here at the Giants where you saw what we saw last night, what we've seen pretty much every week from him for the Eagles. But you got to remember, he's on a much better team. You know, he's got a better quarterback. He's got legitimate wide receivers that, put fear in the defense, and he has taken advantage of it. There were a couple times last night, and by the way, a Thursday night game, there are a lot of guys that don't either aren't playing or don't want to be making tackles. And if they don't want to be making tackles, a guy like Saquon Barkley is a pain in the ass to play against.
Yeah, it was really disappointing, like the level of football that we had this week as opposed to last week. I was disappointed. I thought this game was going to be as high quality as Ravens-Bengals, and it really didn't turn out to be like that.
I think that the Eagle defense really, kind of, I don't know, they shut down Jaden Daniels. And also, by the way, I don't know what the hell Dan Quinn's thinking about. He's got like a 4th and 3. They're down by 2 points. Kick the field goal, attempt the field goal, and take the lead. And put the pressure back on the Eagles. They could have been up 13-12, and he decided to go for it on 4th down. Now, of course, if I had Jaden Daniels, a multi-dimensional player back there, I would be more likely to go for it. And I know that they've had a lot of success on 4th down situations, but that's the coach who wears his hat backwards, acting like this is a video game. When in actuality, maybe in that case, take some pressure off of your young kid, kick the field goal, and possibly take the lead. I'm assuming he's going to make the field goal, but that's a point in the game where you could just at least settle your guy down a little bit. He looked like a rookie last night.
Right, a couple of things. One, I think when he makes decisions like that because he thinks he's playing a video game, he has seen his quarterback be like a video game quarterback, and he gets a little juice because of that. And also, I kind of think we're in a situation with Jaden Daniels. I hate to say it, but maybe a little bit of a hit the wall spot here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a long season, man, and we are right in the middle of the grind part of the season.
Yeah.
And this is where, crazy things are going to happen. Certain teams that you don't think are going to win are going to win. Other teams are going to be besieged by injuries. There's all sorts of crazy things that go on this time of year in the NFL. So, and maybe that's part of it for, and that's a short week too, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a tough deal to go on.
And they haven't had their bye week yet, by the way. It's week 14 for the Commanders.
And the nice thing for the Commanders is that they do have a mini bye now.
Yeah.
So Jaden can get away for a few days, have the weekend off, relax, get recharged, and come back next week and get ready to play. And not sure who they play next week, but if it's I'm not sure. Let me take a look at who they play. But I will say,
just Google it.
I'm looking at it right now. You just relax. He's still the odds-on favorite to win the Rookie of the Year.
Oh, the Cowboys.
So
hosting the Cowboys.
There you go. They'll kill the Cowboys.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
And that's exactly what you want. So that's 10 days off, so he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him at all. But, the Eagles are going to be, a force in the NFC. There's no question about it.
So the MVP odds, this is prior to last night's game. So I don't have the updated ones. And the FanDuel Sportsbook app in New York does not have that as an option here because the New York rules do not have you don't have the ability to bet on anything that a human determines.
Have you ever noticed this, that, we here in New York have so many goddamn rules and regulations?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It's just like strangling everybody.
Well, we're just talking about other ones with the Mike Tyson fight. Not allowed to bet on that in New York either. So,
well, I don't know. Well, I guess maybe they're not looking at it as could you do it if it were a legitimately sanctioned fight?
I think so, yeah. But because of the rules are different and the gloves are different, but there's like 6 states that won't allow you to bet on this.
It's speaking of Mike Tyson, he slapped the crap out of Jake Paul yesterday.
Part of the script. So. You know it. I know it.
I loved it.
It's
Man, I hope he slaps him around tonight.
Yeah, I mean, professional wrestling's entertaining for a lot of people, and that's what this is. You watch TV shows with actors. I mean, this is what this is.
Mike Tyson actually looked like he was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, no, he did, and
I have a dad bod, that's for sure.
I would love to believe in this whole thing. I really would, but I just can't. But anyway, so back to the MVP odds prior to last night's game.
Beats the hell out of that guy.
And it's what everybody wants. Lamar Jackson -110, Josh Allen +350, Patrick Mahomes +750, Jalen Hurts +1200. I don't think that's going to remain the same.
Patrick's had a very average year statistic-wise, and Steve Spagnuolo's defense the last 2 years has kept him in games. Now, he's done a lot of great things in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're bored. Now, they're going to have their hands full this week, 4:25 on CBS, by the way. This is 1 year that I'm kind of happy that I'm not on the NFL Today.
1 year, 1 week.
Well, no, this whole year. But
okay.
I mean, because they're going up there. They're going to Buffalo. They're going on the road to Buffalo.
This week?
Yes, that means I'd have to leave Friday, probably go up there and lose a whole weekend.
Well, they hadn't done that in a long while, right?
Dude, they'd never done that. They never did that when I was there.
Wow.
Which is fine with me. I mean, I was more than happy to stay in the confines of the studio in New York.
Of course. So they're going to be up there freezing their ass off. It's got to be cold.
I don't know.
It's
not going to be that cold, but
it's got to be cold.
Yeah. So they're taking it on the road up there to Buffalo because, let's face it, this is a huge game, and I think these are the two best records for the two teams that are playing in this game. I think like the 17th best record in the history of the NFL. This late in the season. Because you got an undefeated team and you got a 2-loss team.
Yeah, it's not that cold at all. It's going to be 54. Not even windy on Sunday. So they lucked out. Coach Cowher lucked out.
Good for those guys. Go and have a great time. Fan base is going to be crazy. Game is going to be crazy. They're treating it the way they should be treating it because it is a huge regular season game. You got 2 of your megastars and 2 of your great fan bases, and who knows? You got Taylor Swift having her concert up there in Toronto, right?
Yeah, so I guess she played Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
She's got to be going
to Toronto, so that's why people would imagine that she's going to come down. Doesn't have a show on Sunday. She'll come down to the game, Chiefs, Bills in Buffalo. So you would imagine that would be the case.
So if she goes to that game, I mean, going to an away stadium is tough in the NFL.
She's done it before. Has she done it before?
I know it's always been a neutral site stadium. It's always been. I don't remember her.
I feel like she might have gone to one road game.
Now, here's the thing. Sure. This could be a road game that she goes to. And then on Christmas, on Netflix, in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
She's a Pennsylvania girl.
That's right.
Maybe wants to be home for Christmas. I mean, the NFL's not stupid. The man with knowledge knows what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
They looked at Taylor Swift's concert schedule, and they said, let's see if we can put Kansas City and Buffalo right when she's in Toronto.
And is she playing? Well, I guess she's just from Pennsylvania, so that's why that works on Netflix and Christmas, and maybe a proposal right before Christmas, something like that.
It could be right before the game, pregame or something.
Maybe. You never know.
Maybe she'll sing a couple Christmas songs.
Crazy, kooky kids these days in love, Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible. But yeah, so your point is well made. Lamar Jackson's probably going to win his 3rd MVP. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to win his 3rd MVP.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what he's doing.
Is there another person in the NFL, in the history of the NFL, who had won 3 MVPs?
Brett Favre?
Hold on.
Okay.
And was never considered the best quarterback in the game at any point during his career. Because Patrick Mahomes has always been the guy. And then you ask, and he's winning championships. most fans are going to say that they'd rather have Patrick Mahomes than Lamar Jackson. I can't, the way that Lamar Jackson wins MVPs and then still is never considered the best quarterback in the league is crazy.
I mean, in the eyes of many, he's just got to win in the playoffs. That's all.
But like, so it's got to be unique to the league, right? I mean,
I mean, if he wins his third MVP, how many guys have won 3 MVPs? Peyton Manning, Brett Favre,
Aaron Rodgers did. I mean, all those guys are probably considered the best.
But when they won,
Tom Brady,
right? When they won their MVPs, they were considered the best. Everybody thought of them as the best quarterback. I think Lamar, for whatever, look, he plays a different type of game. That's the thing, and he does more. I would say the MVP for his team and what he does and how he does it. I don't think there's another quarterback in the league that does what he does or is capable of doing what he does. I mean, he's physical. Well, Josh Allen's probably the other quarterback that would be similar because they do call some runs for him as they do call runs for Lamar. So those two guys are impossible to defend just simply because of all the secondary stuff that they do. It's not just sitting in the pocket. I mean, they're going to take off. And, Patrick doesn't run nearly as much, but he can stand in there and he can move ever so slightly, throw the ball sidearm, throw it between his legs, throw it behind his back, throw it left-handed. I mean, it's really it's amazing, this generation of quarterback, because you got guys like Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, guys like that are having great years. Joe Burrow is having an awesome year.
Yeah, I mean, the team just doesn't have a lot of wins, and he's on this list, too, at plus 2,000. Also on this list is Kyler Murray at plus 1,500. So at least he made the top 6 or top 5, rather, of the MVP odds because of how well he is playing.
I mean, but if Lamar goes, he's probably going to go over 4,000 yards passing. He's up around 70% completion. He may get close. There was a point in time where he was on pace for at least 1,000 yards rushing. So think about that for a second. 1,000 yards rushing and 4,000 yards passing.
Yeah.
He's got 24 touchdowns now, and he's got only 2 interceptions. I mean, if you just took the running out of it, forget it. Forget the running part of it. You just put up his passing numbers. They stand the test of time.
And nobody thinks he could beat the Chiefs, which is amazing.
That's what, it's like when we talk about the Yankees. All right, they're going to get to the World Series, but can they win it? That's the thing.
Yeah, and also they'll get to the playoffs, but can they beat the Astros? I mean, that's the better comparison because the Ravens can't get past the Chiefs. The Yankees were never able to get past the Astros. It's no coincidence that the Astros get eliminated and the Yankees go to the World Series. So it's sort of the same thing. And that in his career, I mean, we care so much as fans about legacy and winning. I mean, that's what it is.
If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, he's going in the Hall of Fame.
I think if his career ended tomorrow, he'd go in the Hall of Fame. He's got 2 MVPs.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm telling you. But
bro,
yeah, bro.
You're broing my ass right now.
I'm broing your ass right now.
Okay,
yes.
I like it on a Feel Good Friday.
Right, but yeah. So to me, he is definitely the odds-on favorite to win it. I don't know how he doesn't win it because it seems to me like the Baltimore Ravens are now an offensive machine as opposed to a defensive machine. In past years, it's always been about their defense and a little bit of Lamar. Now it's clearly Lamar, Derrick Henry. They add Deontay Johnson to the mix. I mean, they are a juggernaut on offense. That's all I can tell you. And they're really tough to play against. I can't wait to see what the Bills defense tries to do and see if they can. I mean, not the Bills defense this week, but the Steelers defense this week against the Ravens. What they can do to try to slow them down. Because if there is a kryptonite, it's going to be going to Pittsburgh. I mean, it's brutal, it's physical, it's hard. But it'll be interesting to see how that Pittsburgh Steelers defense, tries to slow him down.
Yeah, for years and years and years, it was Flacco and Roethlisberger in those games and the great defenses, and every game ended up like 16-14, 13-10.
Did a lot of those games on Monday night,
12-6. I mean,
they were. You know what they were?
Slobber knockers?
Yes, a word that we haven't used very often.
Yeah, I would agree. They were slobber knockers. I don't know. You're probably not going to get quite like a slobber knocker in this one, I don't think. Because
I just feel like the Ravens' defense is not that great.
And Russell Wilson's been playing well. As much as I don't like that guy, I got to give him credit. He's won 3 games in a row. He's made some throws. So he could probably put up some points against the Ravens, you would imagine.
Yeah, I wonder if the Steeler fans could be saying, thank you, Jets, for Mike Williams. Not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet. But if another game-winning touchdown, certainly that chant is a possibility.
You know what he did last week, which was amazing? All right, he got the game-winning touchdown. That's for sure. But there was another touchdown pass in the game, and he was the inside receiver that had to kind of set the pick for the tight end that had to go into the flat. I think it was Freiermuth.
Yeah.
And the way he did it, like if he had a jet green uniform on, he would have been called for a penalty, even though he didn't really touch anybody. But I feel like they were trying to run that play for the Jets and could never get it run right. And here he is as the wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They run the play. He kind of he's a nuance pick setter type of thing, and the guy goes over him, and it's a wide open touchdown pass for Russell Wilson. I'm like, that's a guy who knows what he's doing on the field. I don't know. It was amazing just watching him last week have these little plays here and there and have success for the Steelers.
So just to show you how times have changed, the Ravens and the Steelers are tied for the highest over-under total of the week at 48.5. The other game is the Seahawks and the 49ers. So this is not expected to be a 12-7, 13-10 type of game anymore. It's a 48.5 over-under.
Wide open. Let's go, baby.